Okay, hey everybody, I am back. A couple confessions and announcements, and then we'll get going on the card I'm going to make. Where's that piece of paper I'm looking for? I wanted to let you know that the Wheel of Winners is still in play. Here it is. And this one has been taking quite a while to fill. I only need 2 people. This is for a $50 shopping spree. You can't use it on my BOGO sale, but you can use it on anything else. Last chance items, online exclusive, kits, whatever you would like. You get a shopping spree of $50. Each space costs 10, so there's 2 left. You pay shipping and handling, and you have to order through me, I think. Let me think that through. Can you order yourself and have it shipped to yourself? I think you can. And if you are signed up for the rewards, you would earn some rewards. On a $50 order, you'd earn $5, right? 10%? Yeah. Okay, let's get started. It is May 13th, and I am catching up. So, true confessions. I just did a 12 by 12 sampler, and I called it my choice, but it was supposed to be To Die For. So, number 11, not done. I have to go back and do number 11. But right now we're on day 13, and it is monochromatic. So, I'm excited about this card. We're going to be using these pressed flower motifs. These are new. They're fun. I love them. And we're going to be using another sheet of paper from the Beautiful Gallery 6x6 Designer Series paper. I've got the measurements listed, so once I get everything laid out here, you can take a screenshot. By the way, I am Chris, coming to you live. Excuse me, I have to sneeze. Ooh, bless me. From my stamping room in Worthington, Minnesota. It's a beautiful day. I am participating in Kevin Thiessen's Card a Day Challenge. Card a Day in May. And so time got away from me this weekend, which is absolutely fine. I'm not holding myself hostage to this challenge. But my intentions are to get back on track. All right, here we go. This is a piece of 8.5 by 11 paper cut in half and scored at 4 1/4. Let's burnish that. This is Basic Beige. Monochromatic is the page today, or the card today. So you need 2 more pieces of the Basic Beige. Let me get my camera up here just a little bit. There we go. There are the measurements. And like I said, you need a piece of Designer Series paper, and I've not cut this one yet. This is the Distressed Tile 3D embossing folder, and it is on last chance for $9. We're going to take this piece, which is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to run it through the stamp cut emboss machine. If you were on one of my last videos, you heard me say that my friend Sarah calls her little machine Georgia, and she calls her big machine Georgia, and she calls her little machine Georgina. So, I don't know if I'm going to step out and name my machines or not, but anyway, this was run through the big stamp cut emboss machine. I love how distressed this looks. I love that it's imperfect. I like a lot about this embossing folder. And I think it goes well with this Designer Series paper. Alright, I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and we need to cut this at 3 by 4 1/4. So I want the majority of the house showing. I'm just going to go ahead and trim off that side. This is going to be the 3-inch part. I think I like that. I'll save those. I might actually put something like that on the inside. And then 4 1/4. So let's see. Let's go about there. I'm going to cut off the top and 4 1/4. Yeah, I think that's good. Alright, what's on the back? No, I'm not going to use what's on the back. Alright, get rid of my trimmer. Alright, this piece is going on the same color, that is 4 3/8 by 3 1/8. Now, could I sponge or brush around the edges of this? Absolutely, but I am not going to. And there we have our card. So, I also have the beige ribbon. I think I'm going to open up the new one. Ooh, watch me flounder, as I can never find the end of the plastic. Oh, without, I don't want to wreck the ribbon. Every time. Okay, I think I got it. Every time. Alright, I know there are other ways to do this. None of them seem to be my friend. There we go. Alright, okay. Yeah, I'm going to put some of that on there before I glue it all together. Alright, so first, using my liquid green glue and a thin, every now and then you have to stick a pin in the end. I've been using my glue a lot today, and I haven't been really good about closing it up, so every now and then you just have to stick a little pen in the end. Alright, this would be a pretty thinking of you, sympathy, thank you, birthday, anything. Very, very generic card, I would say. We're gonna go ahead and do a real bow, and I can play with this after it's tied, so I'm not going to worry right now about where it is positioned. I don't want to cover up that whole fence. So, and the beauty of doing a real bow is if I decide I don't like this on here, I can take it off. So let me fluff it up just a little bit before we decide. Alright, I can just buckle my card just a little bit so that I can slide this up or down. I think the bottom is where I want it. And I'm going to take it all the way off and flip it around because I like the way the tails are facing down. I usually tie it upside down, and I forgot that time. Must be just my procedure that it always seems like it comes out better if I tie it upside down. Let me just play with this just a little bit yet. Bear with me. Bear with me. I don't have my comments. I don't have my phone on right now. So if there are comments, I apologize, but I will catch up with them later. for those of you that have been with me today. I am trying to get 4 cards done. Alright, I'm gonna fuss with this after it's put on. How about that? Alright, we're gonna pop this up, and I'm using the foam sheets. I really have no preference over the dimensionals or the foam sheets, but today I am using the sheets. I do get a bigger, I guess you get a bigger bang for your buck, maybe. They cover up a little more turf, so I don't have to use quite so many octagon shaped. I certainly don't find this shape of dimensional backing around my house. Alright, let's go ahead and glue this on. I think I want the popped up side face up. Alrighty, monochromatic. I don't do monochromatic very often, and I should. Now remember, I'm going to play with this bow, but you don't need to watch me do that, and I can do that even after it's attached. I do want it kind of right at the base of that tree, and leaving a little more of the fence exposed. Alright, let's get that in the middle, and then let's bring in my pressed flower motifs. Heaven forbid they just be called something normal. And I'm going to use the tiny ones, and I'm just going to put them right along the bottom here. I know that the trend really is to put them random, but my concrete sequential brain always wants them lined up. Not always, but anyway. Okay, so once I fuss with the bow, there we have it. A beautiful monochromatic card. It's very artistic. It reminds me of the Mental Institute that I went on a tour of last week in Cherokee, Iowa. Built in 2009 and still operating. Oh, I was going to maybe put something on the inside here. So let's go ahead and trim this a little thinner, and maybe even a little thinner. And let's go, we want this to be about 5 inches. I'm going to trim off the top. There we go. There you have it. And this is going to go on the inside. Just a way to use up your scraps. You know, there's not always a good purpose for those thin leftover pieces. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm leaving this card blank. I feel like it makes a good note card. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with let's see, I'll be back with my choice, and I will be back at 4 o'clock doing my BOGO sale. So let's color in monochromatic and call it done. And I'm almost caught up. So I have your choice, and I have a never used set. Ooh. I have a order coming in today or tomorrow, so that may be what I use tomorrow. All right, see you soon.